Susie, and this is...
I'm Linda.
But I've got to tell you what happened at the grocery store. So I went to the Walmart market after I got off work, and I got my groceries, and I got in line, and I got in the line where that they check your groceries out. And so there was a lady in front of me, and she was putting her groceries up, to be checked out. And she was so friendly. She looked at me. She smiled real pretty at me. And
I'm worried now.
But I smiled back at her. And so there wasn't any conversation that went on initially.
She was just giving you eyes?
Well, it was just friendly eyes, just being friendly. So anyway, she got her groceries up there, and she looked at me and she said, "Whoa," she said, "I don't need to come to the grocery store when I'm hungry." She said, "Look at all this junk I've put in my grocery cart." And so I said, "I've got stuff in my grocery cart that can be defined as junk food too." I said, "I think we all do that." And so she smiled real pretty at me, and she, they were checking her groceries out, and she looked back at me and smiled at me again. And I'm thinking, man, this woman is very friendly. And so there was all kinds of things that started going through my mind, and I thought, is there something on my face? And then I thought, is there something wrong with my clothes? And I wanted to look, but it was like, I didn't want to make it obvious that I'm wondering, why are you being so friendly? Isn't that crazy that we think it's odd that people are friendly?
Yes.
So anyway, she was just being really friendly. So all of a sudden, she looks back at me, and she's smiling at me, and this is what she said to me. She said, "When are you due?"
That's not what I was expecting.
Okay, so when she said that to me, it was like this tornado of thoughts that started going through my mind. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, oh my gracious, I look so fat that she thinks I'm pregnant. But then the next thought that went through my mind was, oh my, she thinks I'm young enough to be pregnant. So then I'm thinking, oh, this might be good. And then the next thing that went through my mind was, oh my gracious, I have to tell her I'm not pregnant.
Okay, how do you tell her without humiliating her?
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought, how do I tell this woman that I'm not pregnant? Because I thought she's going to be humiliated. So I thought, okay, the only thing I can do is just tell her. So I mean, these thoughts were just in nanoseconds that were running through my mind. So I looked at her and I said, I'm not pregnant. And she said, I'm so. I mean, have you ever asked somebody if they were pregnant? I've done that before. It's awful. I was in a grocery line one time. I've learned my lesson.
Right.
But I've never had it happen to me when I wasn't pregnant like that in a grocery store line. So I looked at her and I said, I'm not pregnant. And she said, oh, I said, no, it's okay. I said, it's okay. I said, listen.
The humiliation.
I know. I mean, you're seeing her process and stuff. I said, no, really, it's okay. I said, I am 61 years old. And I said, you have just made my day. I said, look, I have got 3 grown children. I have got 3 grandchildren. I am a grandmama. And I said, you have just asked me when I'm due. I said, that is the most amazing thing. She said, you are 61 years old. I said, yeah, I'm 61. I'm a grandmama. She said, you do not look 61.
Well, there you go. There it is. Drop the mic.
I said, listen.
Be done.
I said, you are my best friend. I said, you are my best friend.
Have you asked her if she knits yet?
Well, no, I didn't. But she, she checked out her groceries and she said, I cannot believe you're 61 years old. I said, I am. And I said, you have made my day. And so anyway, she checked out and she didn't look back at me. She didn't tell me bye. And I'm thinking, I thought,
she ran.
Yeah, she was there. I guarantee you she will never ask anybody when they're due. So anyway, I got home. I could not wait to tell my husband. So I walked in.
Now, how do you do that? How do you do that with, the glass half full here?
I know. Listen, I laughed all the way home. I could not believe at
you have such a good attitude.
61 years old, someone asked me when I was due.
Oh, there you go.
And that morning, I've lost some weight.
Yeah.
And so that morning, when I went to work, I decided I wouldn't put my scrubs on. They were dirty, so I put on just regular clothes. And I was able to put on a pair of capris that I've not worn in 2 years. So
and then you hear that.
Listen, I went to work thinking, oh man, I'm in clothes. And
feeling good.
I was feeling good. And then she said, when are you due? And I think, oh God, I am so fat. I look pregnant. So anyway, I got home and I told my husband,
aging is so cruel.
Oh, it is. And so anyway, I got home and I told my husband the story. And of course, he's got a head full of gray hair. And he doesn't look like old in his face, but I guess all his gray hair, people think he's a whole lot older than I am. So anyway, when I told him this story, he said, dear Lord, Susie, he said, I am so glad I wasn't in the line with you. He said, they would have thought I was your daddy. So anyway, we laughed about it, and the next day when I was getting dressed and even when I went to work, I would think about it. I would just break out in laughter. It's like, so I got home that night and I said, honey, I said, you know how that when I was pregnant, you would always tell me that I was beautiful pregnant and how much you loved me being pregnant? He said, yeah, I did. He said, I thought you were beautiful pregnant. I said, well, honey, I said, you get that 24/7 now. I look pregnant 24/7. And
dream girl.
Oh, listen. And he I told him, I said, that will probably never happen to me again, but I will never forget how old I was when somebody asked me when I was due. 61 years old.
And there you are.
Have you ever been asked that? When you weren't pregnant?
No.
Oh, Lord.
No, I mean, it wasn't because I didn't look it. It just, I didn't, no.
Oh, me.
Well, there you go.
Life is full of surprises.
Yes, and this is how we age gracefully, is we take the compliments however we can get them.
And thank God for needles
I know,
and
right?
yarn. It helps me stay sane.
Oh, stay tuned for the next one. We've got lots of stories, lots of yarns we're going to yarn over together. There it is.
All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I was crying. Oh, I was crying.
Well, there you go. There's our first
There
one.
you go. That is hilarious. Oh, Susie, it's rough. I'll tell you, aging is not for the weak of heart.
No, it is